Hello, my name is Hutchison, and I'm here to present on Gemstar's financial condition. First, I'd like to start with the statement of cash flows. This is the chart for the statement of cash flows right here. Next, we have the profit and loss standard. Ideally, we'd like to get more of a net income. As you can see, we are only a little bit over breaking even. And next, we have the balances sheet standard. This shows our total liabilities and equities. Next, I'd like to talk about internal controls to protect against fraud. The first thing that we will most likely be doing is using a checks and balances system to make sure that one person doesn't have all the control over financial transactions. So this means that a designated person will have to authorize purchases and payroll, separate receipt and deposit functions from recording transactions, and also make sure that the same person cannot write and sign any check. Supervisors will be approving employees' timesheets before payroll is completed. Next, we will restrict the use of employees' company credit cards and verify all changes. Next, we will protect checks against fraud, prohibit writing checks payable to cash, require 2 signatures on checks above a certain amount, mark invoices paid with the check number when checks are issued. This will help us tell if checks are being used in ways they shouldn't be. Next, we will look for changes in employees' lifestyles. By watching to see how employees' lifestyles are changing will help us track fraud. If someone has a drastic change in their lifestyle, it will cause suspicion because we know every employee's paycheck value. Next, we would like to require employees to take vacation time. By requiring employees to take vacation time and allow others to do their job, we'll be able to not only give our employees a break from working hard, but it'll allow others to see if there's anything strange going on in their accounts. Next, we would like to hand out employee paychecks twice a year. This makes sure that there aren't any employees that have been set up to get paychecks that don't actually exist, and to make sure that no one is able to make up a new employee to get a whole new paycheck. Next, we would like to hire a CPA to examine the books. If we hire someone else to examine the books a few times a year, it ensures that all of the numbers are correct and that someone isn't fudging them. Next, we would like to conduct seminars about workplace fraud. Some people do not realize that fraud is a very serious offense. By conducting yearly seminars about fraud, we will teach employees what happens if they commit it. Next, we will prosecute those who commit fraud and communicate it internally and externally. This means if any employees commit fraud and is tried and punished for it, we will communicate it within the company and outside the company to show our employees what happens when someone commits this offense. Finally, we must treat employees with respect. If we treat all employees with respect, they will be happy in their environment and be less likely to take a risk, such as committing fraud. One of the more final points I'd like to talk about is budgeting. Budgeting is key to any company being successful. I suggest we use a rolling budget. We are able to afford someone who can constantly be tending to the budget, as the budget will change monthly. Because I believe we have it in our budget to hire someone like this, it will also make us much more profitable. Finally, I'd like to talk about fraud. Although I've already talked about our internal controls to protect against fraud, I feel the need to revisit this topic and make sure it's clear that this company has a zero tolerance policy for fraud and that we will take extraordinary measures to protect the company against it. Thank you.